Celtic's victory in the 1967 European Cup final was a defining moment in Scottish and British football history, creating the legend of the Lisbon Lions. To mark its 50th anniversary, a fresh angle in the story is being provided by The Lions Road, a documentary project from two intrepid fans who will be recreating the journey to the Portuguese capital in a classic Hillman Imp. We invited the pair into the studio, along with the Lisbon Lion, Jim Craig.
You've got experience of these cars then?
Yes, bad experiences.
I think it's a piece of rubbish.
A lot of mechanical problems.
I've had trouble with the gearbox.
Oh, it's great to drive.
I've had trouble with the clutch.
What do you feel about this particular idea? We're looking to drive a replica Hillman Imp to Lisbon.
Well, can I be honest? Get here when you're daft.
Yep. Good. That's what we need to know, right?
But the smell of this, do you know what I mean? You can actually
Takes you
smell.
back to your childhood.
No, I'm not that. Behave yourself for crying out loud.
So people say, why did you all no go up and get in the car with Billy? I says, we were running about all day. I says, he done nothing. I was trying to get it to me.
And we're joined by the guys now. Martin, we get some sense of why you're doing it, but why this trip? Why this Hillman Imp?
Why this trip? Well, Barry and I kind of discussed this over a cup of tea one night, a couple of years back, about 2 years ago, and we decided that we had to mark the 50th anniversary. And Barry, being the classic car enthusiast that he is, he'd remembered that John Quinn, the journalist, had made this journey back in '67, obviously. And we kind of took it from there. We kind of tried to flesh out the idea and just started looking into it.
So, classic car enthusiast, but you went for the Hillman Imp.
Yeah, obviously, exactly. But they're actually great little cars and greatly misunderstood. We'll just stick to that story. Exactly, myself and Martin. Don't let him kid you. Yeah, the Hillman Imp, obviously, it's a car that's very close to a lot of people's hearts. Everybody's auntie or uncle or granny had one. And also, it's a local car. It's the only car ever to be produced, nearby. And very much that was the one to focus on because we knew the story about the guys originally taking the Hillman Imp back in '67. So I had always been aware of that story and it was bringing that back to the fore again.
So how easy was it getting one of these cars? I mean, there can't be many left, are there?
You can get Hillman Imps fairly easily, but it's getting one of the right period, and there's actually a story attached to that, in that we had to go as far as Portugal, of all places, to get a car of the right
to take it to go back to Portugal.
Take it back to
so,
Portugal.
And there's a lot of work. I think we've got some pictures now just to show the work. What state is the car at this point in time?
At this particular state, it's lying across the garage floor in several bits. But I'm relying on some of my mates who don't necessarily support Celtic, may I add. So, I'll look forward to doing a bit of work in the coming days and weeks to get it ready.
And Martin, what's it like to drive? We saw you trying it there in the promo.
Very easy, John. Actually, the look of terror in Barry's face as I kept, because it's a left-hand drive as well. Right. I think I was kind of maybe going a wee bit too close to the centre of the road for Barry's liking.
It's actually quite difficult to hold a camera in the crash position. That's all I'm saying.
Bad is that. Now, Jim, we saw you there. You were quite clear what you thought of the whole idea. You thought they were daft.
Well, they're after a head, to be quite honest, to use a technical expression. But no, it's a wonderful decision they've made to try and replicate something that happened all those years ago. And I mean, John Quinn had a whole series of people with him as well, going down through England and France and into Portugal. So it's great.
And how important was it to have all these thousands of Celtic fans here?
We stayed in Estoril, which is quite a bit outside Lisbon, so it was fairly quiet. We had very little idea of how many fans were coming. And we only really realised that when we walked up the tunnel to start the game. And to see that number of people there actually took our breath away, because we had not realised that so many people would turn up. And of course, the cavalcade had contributed to a great deal of that as well.
And so that's what inspired you guys as well, just knowing how many. I mean, how many thousands did go? Do we ever actually know?
Right. There's varying reports. Between 7,000 and 20,000 is kind of what we've heard. But the amount of people that we've kind of spoken to, the guys that didn't actually even make it to the stadium because they overshot it in the train and things like this. But they're only now admitting that because they couldn't come back. How was the game? How was great.
Allegedly, some of them haven't even come back yet. They're still out there, so we may even meet them en route.
Absolutely.
So. And obviously, an historic game, and it's been the 50th anniversary has been marked this year, Jim. And we'll look at the iconic goal scored by Tommy Gemmell. And there was the guy who set up the key pass era, a pass that apparently, I think you said at Tommy's memorial service, that his granny could have scored. Talk us through that.
There's a time for sarcasm, I think, isn't there? No, I was merely waiting there for another Italian player to come towards me instead of going towards Tommy. And if that guy hadn't turned his back on the play and had raced forward, the goal wouldn't have been scored. But unusual for two fullbacks to do it. And technically, he shouldn't have been there because I was already in position and he should have been back defending. But by that time of the game, we're panicking a wee bit. We've got all of the play, but we're still 1 goal down. So plans go out the window at a time like that.
And obviously a hugely memorable occasion, and it's all been marked. Now, how important is it that 50 years on that we're still remembering that? The only Scottish team, first British team, and only Scottish team. I mean,
there were iconic moments like that, you know, first Scottish team, first British team, and that's worth celebrating on its own. Unfortunately, our numbers have dropped a wee bit since then, you know, and but the ones that are still surviving will be hopefully there to, not on the day, but we've been already there to go through all the various moments that we relived again. So it's been great.
Is there any one moment stands out from the game, or is the whole thing just one blow of excitement, achievement?
I don't. You've been very kind not to mention this, but I did give away a penalty in that particular game as well.
I didn't want to.
I know. And my father had not wanted to come to the game because he thought Inter would be too strong for us. And it was only on the Sunday before the Thursday that I persuaded him to come. I had a seat in a plane for him and a ticket and everything. And apparently he turned to my Uncle Philip when I gave away a penalty and said something like, "I've come all this bloody way to see that," you know. So I can imagine. Yeah. So when I went over to a fortnight ago to the stadium, that was what stuck in my mind, was him sitting up there saying that, his son giving away this penalty, you know. So.
And guys, how long do you think the trip's going to take? What's the plan? How's this going to work out?
Roughly, we plan to leave about the 17th of May, and providing we don't break down too many times, we hope to get there probably for about the 23rd, 24th, something like that. So.
And what's your route? So you're following the route that these guys followed all those years ago?
Yeah, original route. I mean, one of the things, just touched on what Jim said as well, you know, it's all about remembering people, you know, the team members that are no longer with us, and also we've lost our dads not too long ago, our uncles, you know, our Uncle Jim, our Uncle Stephen. We've lost a lot of key people, as all Celtic fans have, and it's remembering people that aren't here anymore, and that's very much a motivation in the whole thing. And
you're hoping to make a documentary out of this, Martin. You're hoping to, well, raise funds for that as much as anything else. How are you doing that?
We've opened up at the moment on a Kickstarter website, so the details of which you can find either going through Kickstarter or else on our Twitter page, The Lions Road, and Facebook as well. So
and there's going to be a documentary, you hope, at the end of all of this?
That's what we're hoping to try and achieve at the end of this, a kind of feature-length documentary.
Well, good luck.
If I'm not being too ambitious.
Well, good luck with the trip, guys, and great memories, Jim. So
thank you very much.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.